Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you two programs you can use to automatically sync the video and audio of two separate recordings. The two programs I'm going to show you how to use are Pluralize and Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, I've done this a lot of times when making my films. Since my camcorder does not have a microphone input, I had to automatically sync the recording from the camcorder with the recording from the microphone in post-production. So I'm going to start off with Pluralize. There are two things you need to keep in mind. One is I do not have the latest version of Pluralize, so if the process that you're going through does not match up with the one that I'm showing you, please let me know and I can make a separate tutorial once I get the latest version. The second thing is I have tried using Pluralize with my default account and I ran into problems. So I contacted support for Red Giant and they told me that I was having the problems because I had an apostrophe in my name, in my account name, which is pretty stupid. And they told me just to make another account without an apostrophe so that I wouldn't run into any issues like that. And I did exactly as they said, and it actually worked with the account without the apostrophe. So, if you're using Pluralize, I would recommend you use it with an account without an apostrophe. So I'm going to open up Pluralize real quick. So the interface is pretty straightforward. What you do is just add media right here at the top part of the program. Then you would choose a file on your computer. I'm just going to choose two ones that I'm going to work with. One is an MP4 file and the other is a WAV file. I'm going to hit OK and it's going to import them. So once it's imported, the audio recordings have to load for them to be synchronized. So at the top left hand corner you have your two media files, your video and your audio. And down below we have the timeline. These two recordings have not been synchronized yet. So what you'll need to do after they're done loading is hit Synchronize. In most cases, they should be able to synchronize. If they don't, it could be because there's too much background noise or there aren't as many similarities between the two recordings. And if that ever happens, then unfortunately you have to manually sync them, which does take a lot more time and is a pain in the ass, but it still works. So once they're synchronized, you can hit Export Timeline, and you can either export them as video files or export them as audio files, or choose one of these two programs. So I'm going to put a link for you to install Pluralize in the description below so you can have it on your computer. It does cost $100 to upgrade and I believe about $300 to purchase. So let me close down this. Let me close the project and delete temporary files and close this down. Alright, so now I'm going to launch Adobe Premiere Pro and show you how to synchronize audio and video files with Adobe Premiere Pro. Alright, so Adobe Premiere has loaded. I'm going to create a new project. Alright, once it's opened, you want to go to the top where it says File and then click Import. And I'm going to choose those same two files that I worked with before. So there are two things you can do in Adobe Premiere Pro. You can either synchronize them and create another clip with the two synchronized recordings before you create a sequence, or you can create a sequence and then synchronize them in the timeline. So I'm going to show you both of those ways. So you would highlight both of them. This only works with two clips. You can't do more than two. You would right click and go to Merge Clips. And this would create another file with the two audio recordings synchronized. Then you click Audio, Track Channel, and then I think you would do mix down. Then you would put a check mark next to remove audio from audio video clip and hit OK. And here you have your file with the audio and video added together. So then you would drag this into the timeline and it would create a new sequence with the two merged clips. So because they are merged, they are linked also. So you would have to unlink them in order to do something like trim the audio, the beginning and end of the audio. And then you would do that. And then you would just use that portion of the video clip with the audio mixed with it. So you can either do that. I'm just going to go back. Or you can bring these two clips into the timeline. This is going to create a sequence. And then you would move the audio recording down to audio track 2. And then you would move, you can do whatever you want with the location of the video clip or the audio clip. But you would highlight those two clips once they're in the timeline, right click, and choose Synchronize. And this is going to bring up a similar dialog box where you choose one of these. You would click audio, and then you could choose mix down, and then hit OK. And then, boom, it automatically chose a location for these two where there are similarities between the two recordings. They are not linked, however, so you would need to link them if you want to move both of them at the same time. Or if you want to trim it, you could keep them unlinked and then just cut the beginning and end of the audio recording and just keep the part where it detected similarities with the video audio recording. So that is how you can sync them in Adobe Premiere Pro. And I will put a link to install the Creative Cloud application in the description below. So, of course, there are more ways that you could synchronize the video and audio recordings, but I'm just using Pluralize and Adobe Premiere as examples. The technology behind Pluralize and Adobe Premiere Pro doesn't exactly work the same way. I have actually tried syncing files in Pluralize and it didn't work. And then I tried doing the same in Adobe Premiere Pro, and it did work. So that proves that the technology is not the same, and you could try one or the other depending on whether it works or not. So if you have any questions, please ask me, and I will get back to them as soon as I can. And thank you for watching.